Hey everybody, this is Michael with Set Lifestyle, and this is the journey to a split. I am not a dude that's very flexible, so I would say that this might take a while, but I'm gonna take it day by day. And the reason that I want to gain more flexibility is because sometimes I feel some hip tightness. I have been squatting, deadlifting, just doing a lot of movements in the gym, and I would say I haven't been too focused on stretching. It's not something that is a priority for me, but I feel like it's gonna help me get deeper squats, and it's gonna help me just have better mobility. So it's something that I feel as I document it, it's gonna help me be more accountable to my stretching. And if anybody wants to join me with the road to split, I would be very happy to have people join and get in on this movement. I'm gonna be going over a couple of a little routine that I've been doing once in a while, but now I'm gonna get into it and be consistent with it to just open up the hips and get more flexibility. Before we start though, I'm gonna start with a baseline of how flexible am I now. So, along the lines of how flexible I am, I could touch my toes and cannot get the knuckles under the hands, but could get up to the first, the second. So that's on there. Then let's see if we can do a split. That's as far as I can go. So, and I feel my hamstring pulling a lot. And let's try the other side. Oh, this one's even worse. Oh my god. Now I feel the hip and the hamstring pulling a lot, but hey, we'll get to it eventually. And I'm guessing the side ones are the hardest. That's, if I'm trying to open up my hips, that's as far as I can open up the hips. And I feel a stretch coming from the knee all the way into the groin area. So let's get started with the day one. So what we're gonna be doing is you can use a yoga mat, a pillow, anything that makes it a little more comfortable on the knee. Place your back knee on that pillow, and then take a far step forward and have your torso straight and lean into it. You're gonna feel a stretch on the hip, on the hamstring of the front leg. If you wanna get an even deeper stretch, you can go ahead and grab your right leg with your left arm, rotate with it, and we're gonna hold there for a bit. Feel it? And then we're gonna go back into our back leg, and this is gonna we're gonna feel a nice stretch in the hamstring, and our quad is gonna get a bit of a stretch too. So just go back a bit. I can't go all the way down, my butt cannot touch my heel yet, but eventually I'll be able to. Let's go back forward into it. These are just a couple of movements that I've seen people that have helped me try to open up my hips, but never made it a routine, never did it consistently. Let's go back into it. Oh, I feel it in the hamstring heavy. Try to bring your toes up to the sky, and you'll feel it more. So we're gonna do a switch. Same exercise, different leg. Take it as far forward as you can. Torso nice and straight. This one I would say is harder for me than the other leg because I feel like my right hip is tighter than my left hip. I mean, this could be different for each person, but this side is harder for me. And if you want to get that extra stretch, go ahead and grab your leg and do some rotation. Make sure all the movements you do when you're stretching are nice and slow. You don't want to hurt yourself, and you don't want to pull any muscles. Alright, we're going to go back into this one. Feel the stretch on the ham. Whew. Forward in. So this is a nice movement to really open up the hips. And hey, if anybody has some tips on different movements that I should be doing, please put them in the comments section, and I will look into it and maybe possibly add them into my routine. Alright, we are done with that first movement. Our second movement is gonna be, it looks pretty interesting. I picked it up from another video on YouTube. I will definitely link it below. I forgot what it was called right now, but you're gonna be in a lunge position, and you're just gonna place your elbows onto your inner knee and try to push outward with it. Try not to pulse too much. Try to keep it steady. You're gonna feel a deep stretch in the groin area. Us men are gonna have a harder time with this movement because we do not stretch as much, and our groin usually is tighter. From here, we're gonna go into a move that forward into one side, and then instead of coming up and rotating, you're gonna try to stay as low as you can and rotate to the other side into a lunge. So we're rotating into a lunge as low as we can. If it's hard at the beginning, use your hands to help guide you throughout the movement. This is meant to just open up the hips and move the hips in the ways that they should, when sometimes, because either we're sitting too much at our desk or not doing these kinds of movements, we're not using the full mobility of our hips. So those are the first two, and on day 2 I'm going to introduce 2 more. My routine is going to consist of 4 different movements. Should take about 10 minutes or so a day. So if you're trying to do this, I would highly suggest doing it. Consult with your doctor or PT first and get to it. We got to be more flexible. We got to move more. Enjoy. Much love.